Hi, kindergartners. Welcome back to your TV classroom. Today is Friday, March 12th. You made it to the end of the week. Nice job. Well, before we get going with our Friday lesson, let's check in with our zones. How are you feeling today? What's your body and your brain and your emotions? What are they feeling like? Mr. Kevin, what zone are you in?
Well, you know, I was silly wiggly. I think I've calmed down a little bit.
Oh, that's good.
And so now I'm green.
That's
So,
great.
yeah.
I am also in the green zone. I'm ready to do this lesson. We're going to take
Excellent.
everything we've learned about subtraction and put it all together today.
Let's do it.
Gonna be great. All right, before we do that though, it's time for Number Fun Friday. Let's take a look at these equations and let's see if we can figure out what they make. We've done lots of work with adding, so if I have 5 and I put 2 more on, how many will we have? If you said 7, you are correct. Nice job. Now, what if I have 2 and I put 5 on? So instead of having 5 and 2, now I have 2 and 5. Did I take any away? Nope.
Nope.
Did I put any more up? Nope.
Nope.
So it's still 7. It doesn't matter what order they're in.
I thought of a rhyme. Instead of 5 and 2, you've got the old switcheroo.
Oh, I like it. The old switcheroo. Okay, what if you have 4 and 3? Now this is interesting because before we had 5 and 2, but now we have 4 and 3. It's like we just took 1 from the 5 and tossed it over to the 2, and now it's 4 and 3. Did I take any away? Did I add any more? It's still 7. Ooh. And what's 4 and 4 more? If 4 and 3 more was 7, what's 4 and 1? 4 and 4 more. Put up 1 more. 4 and 4 is 8.
Double trouble.
Yes, in first grade, you're gonna learn this rhyme. Let's do those doubles, doubles. Let's do those doubles, doubles. It's a really good one. What about 2 and 4 more? How many are there? 6. Today we're learning to write the subtraction equations. Are you ready, friends? Make sure your whiteboard's out so you're ready to draw pictures and write equations. But before, let's draw some pictures that represent these equations. Let's do the top equation. Mr. Kevin, can you show my board? I'm gonna do it with my frogs on my log because it's my favorite way to do it. We're gonna do 3 minus 2 equals 1. How many frogs need to go on my log, friends? 3. How many hop off? 2. How many are left? 1. We did it. Let's do the middle equation. 5 frogs on the log. How many are gonna hop off? 2. 2 hop off. How many are left still on the log? 3. 4 frogs on a log. How many are gonna hop off? Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. 3 hop off. How many are left? 1 frog on the log. Excellent job. Okay, Mr. Kevin, let's make it big. We're gonna do some drawing today and some finishing equations. Let's look at this first one. I'm gonna split my screen just like this so we have space to draw all of the equations and we don't get mixed up. Let's look at this first one. It says 4 minus 2. On your whiteboard, I want you to draw a picture using circles that shows 4 taking away 2. So how many do you need to draw? We'll do the first one together. How many do we need to draw to begin with? 4. We're starting with 4. 4. I have 4 circles. Do you? Now it says take away 2. What are we going to do? Cross 2 off. How many do I have left? 1, 2. I have 2 left. 4 minus 2 equals 2. Okay, this next one you're gonna do on your own. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. It says 3 minus 2 equals blank. Are you ready? Go. All right, friends, here's what you should have drawn. Ooh, Mr. Kevin, I definitely need to get my computer checked out. 1, 2, 3 circles. We start with 3. And then it says to take away 2. 1, 2. And we have 1 left over. Okay, we did it. Now you're gonna do the next one all on your own. I'm not even gonna tell you what the equation says. You have to figure out how to draw this and figure out what the answer is. Are you ready? You have 1 minute. Go. All right, friends. See if yours matches mine. 4 to begin with. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to take away 3 of them because there's a 3 right here. 1, 2, 3. And there's 1 left. My answer is 1. If that's what you did, awesome job. Now we have to decide true or false. Does the picture match the equation and give the right answer? So let's look at the picture. What do we see? We see 2 minus 1. There's 2 blocks and they take away 1. Then they say it's 3 left over. Is that true or false? Hang on, I'm gonna get my, it's false. What's the correct answer if we have 2 and we take 1 away? How many blocks are left over? If you said 1, great job. Let's look at the next one. It says I have 3 blocks and I'm going to take 1 away. They said when you do that, you get 3 blocks left. Is that true or false? Look at the picture. Do we have 3 blocks left? We don't. How many blocks are left? 1, 2. 2 blocks are left. Okay, look at the last one. They said they drew 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they crossed 1 off. They said that makes the equation 4 minus 1 equals 3. There are 3 blocks left over. Is that true or false? It's true. Happy face. Woohoo! So 4 minus 1 equals, you got it, it equals 3. Okay, last problem for you to see. Is this true or false? I'm going to give you 1 minute and you decide. True, happy face. False, sad face. Draw the happy face or the sad face on your whiteboard. Are you ready? 1 minute, go. friends, there are 5 blocks drawn. They take away 4 with 1 block left. They said 5 minus 1 equals 4. Well, 5 minus 1 does equal 4, but that doesn't match the picture. So it's sad face. It should have been 5 take away 4 equals 1. All right. Your assignment today is to do page 364 in your math workbook, deciding, is the picture and equation, do they match, so it's a happy face, or do they not match, it's a sad face? Today we learned to write subtraction equations. We modeled problems, we found how many were left, and we wrote or found equations to match the problem. Mr. Kevin, how can they contact us here at the TV classroom?
Well, just ask your adult to help you. Email us at tvclassroom, tacoma.k12.wa.us, or you can send it in the mail to TV Classroom, 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kevin. Now, friends, up next is your break and then your lesson with Miss Oslin. Make sure to gather your ELA materials, your learning packet, your learning notebook, your pencil, and your learning buddy, and be back here ready to learn when she comes on the screen. I hope you have a wonderful Friday, a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye, friends.
Rules. 1. You have 10 seconds to pick your crewmate. 2. A new timer will appear with an exercise for the crewmate you picked. 3. You will get 10 points for each correct crewmate and exercise you choose. 4. If you pick the imposter, you will lose all your points. 5. See how many points you can get. Good luck.
Kindergartners, you came back. Nice job. Kiss your brains. Now go ahead and take your materials, put them off to the side. Go ahead and hold on to your learning buddy though if they are going to help you focus. You'll remember today and every day your job is to listen, share, read, and write. You are a strong, active listener when you're, say these with me, eyes watching,
Eyes watching,
ears listening,
ears listening,
voice quiet,
voice quiet,
and your body is still if it helps you.
body still.
Even then, sometimes you might need to remind your brain to focus.
Focus.
Okay,
Focus.
we've been learning all about writing and how writers write personal narratives. And yesterday we talked about organizing and structure. Today we're learning that writers plan how their stories will be organized so the reader understands them. And one of the things that writers have to do is think about the order of events of the story that you're going to tell. Think about how are you going to tell your story over 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages, 4? What should you write first, next, and last? Yesterday we talked about how stories are told across pages in snapshots, or remember we learned that fancy word vignettes?
Vignettes.
Vignettes. And all of those snapshots or vignettes are related to a common theme, one event. Today we're going to look at how a story can focus on one event and be written in, are you ready for another fancy word?
Yes.
Chronological order.
Chronological order.
We're so fancy here at TV Classroom. We use those big academic words and we know what they mean. Chronological order means the order in which it happened. If you're telling a story and you tell the events out of order, it's going to be really difficult for your reader to understand and follow the story. So as we do this, you're going to think in your mind what each page that you're going to write on will look like and what it's going to tell your reader so that you're sure that you're doing it in chronological order. We're going to look at a few pages of our Tommy DePaola book, Watch Out for Chicken Feet in Your Soup. And this book, if you remember, tells the story of Joey, our main character, and his friend Eugene, and they go visit Joey's grandma. And as I reread parts of the story, I want you to notice how our author, Tommy DePaola, moves the reader from one idea to the next, how the events are in order, and how they're all related to the same story of going to visit Joey's grandma. Are you ready? Now listen, Eugene. My grandma is nice, but she pinches my cheeks a lot and our house is full of funny old stuff. She's always cooking and she talks funny too. And Eugene, watch out for the chicken feet in your soup. Joey, mio bambino, how nice you come to see Grandma. Grandma, this is my friend, Eugene. That's nice, you bring Eugenie to see Grandma. Come in, ragazzi. It's Eugene, ma'am. Eugene's very polite. Ma'am. What's your grandma doing with our coats? How nice you bring your nice coats to keep Grandma's bread dough warm so it will rise. Okay, we're gonna pause and think about the order of events. Remember, this is all related to the same story of Joey and Eugene going to visit Grandma. First, they walk in the door. Then, they introduce Eugene to Grandma. Next, they take off their coats. You see, this is chronological order. It's the order in which it happened. We wouldn't start telling a story where they take off their coats, then they walk in the door, then they introduce, because that would be really hard to understand and follow. Let's keep reading. Carol, come. You my Joey and Eugenie. I give you something nice to eat. Zuppa, nice chicken soup. It's Eugene, ma'am. Psst, Joey, look. You see the detail? There's a chicken foot in his soup. I didn't either. That's the fun part about rereading books. Here, I'll go back. Is that you pick up on those little details that you didn't notice the first time. Just for you nice boys, spaghetti, mangia. Boy, Joey, you sure eat a lot here. All right, so we're going through more snapshots or vignettes all about this story of Joey and Eugene going to visit Grandma. First, she feeds them soup, then she feeds them spaghetti. And think about, how is Tommy, our author and illustrator, moving us from one event to the next, from one page to the next? Are there repeating words like there were in The Moon Was the Best? Is there a title like in The Chalk Doll? There isn't. This is a different way to structure your writing. Each page is connected through a sequence of events in pictures and words. First, the boys came into the house, then they took off their jackets, next, they sat down to eat. The book is in chronological order. There's that word again. Say chronological order.
Chronological order.
That means the order of events in which they happened. One way we can tell is by looking at the pictures, and they're all connected. There they are at the table eating soup. There they are at the table eating spaghetti. Let's see what happens next. I'm full. I love spaghetti. Joey, you not eating. Eugenie eat everything all up. You not going to grow up big and strong like Eugenie. Eugenie, you come with Joey's grandma and help her make the nice bread. And then you'll remember, Eugenie goes in and helps grandma make the dough. And we figure out that Joey's not very happy about it. And remember, he comes in and he says, I'm finished. And grandma doesn't really pay much attention to him. Maybe he's feeling kind of jealous? Do you remember what happens next? What happens, Mr. Kevin?
Well, they both get some of the nice bread,
They do.
but Joey's nice bread is nicer than Eugenie's.
Look at that. Grandma made it.
Very special.
Very special. And she even says, because you my special Joey. So there at the end, Joey is no longer mad or jealous. And then they leave. And Eugene says, hey, Joey, I love your grandma. And Joey says, me too. So when a story is told in chronological order, you get a sense of time passing from the story's beginning to the end. Now, here's a question. How long do you think Joey and Eugene were at Grandma's house? How much time do you think passed? A whole day, a week, a month, a couple hours? Take some think time. Turn and tell your learning buddy how much time you think passed in this event of Joey and Eugene visiting Grandma. Mr. Kevin, what do you think?
I think, and hang on, I'm going to tell my little learning buddy here. So, Chili, I think that Joey and Eugenie were over at Grandma's house for probably about 2 hours.
What made you think that it was 2 hours as opposed to like a week?
Well, they had lunch, which started with soup, and then they had, what else?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti, that's right. They had spaghetti. And then what else happened? Grandma and Eugenie made some bread, right? And how long does it take to bake bread?
Oh, that's clever. That's a strong inference using text evidence. So in this book, it happens over a couple of hours. As opposed to when we read The Chalk Doll, it was the story of Rose's mom growing up in Jamaica. So that was over several years. But it's still all related to her growing up in Jamaica. So your job today is to think about an event that you're going to write about. Maybe it's one thrilling event. Maybe it's going to your grandma's house. Maybe it's going to school. Whatever it is, you're going to think about how much time passed in your event, and you're going to think about the chronological order of the vignettes or snapshots. And you're going to use this graphic organizer to help you. It says first, second, third, fourth. So within your event, you're going to think of 4 snapshots. First, I went to my grandma's house. Second, we sat down and ate lunch. Third, we baked bread. Fourth, we left. In chronological order. And you can draw pictures or try to write the words there. Today we learned that fiction writers use structure to, that's not the right learning target. That's okay.
Well, that's okay.
We learned that you use structure and chronological order to make it really easy for your reader to understand what it is that you are telling them about. Notice when you're doing your independent reading how the author of your books tells a story all about one event but told over multiple pages, and how they put the events in order. And then you are going to do your own writing, and we would love to see your event in chronological order sent to us here at TV Classroom. Mr. Kevin, how can our kindergartners send us their writing?
Just check with your adult and see if they will help you. Send us an email to tvclassroom@tacoma.k12.wa.us. Or, TV Classroom headquarters is just down the street from Grandma's house. Yeah, at 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin. Now, kindergartners, it's time for our affirmation. This is the time of day when we get to say positive things about ourselves before we go off to complete our independent work. Let's take a deep breath together. And today, your affirmation is, my story matters. Say that out loud with me. My story matters. And we cannot wait to receive and read your stories. Thank you, kindergartners, so much for reading with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you back here next time in our TV Classroom. Bye.
Hey kids, we want to see your work. Just send your pictures and your stories to TV Classroom, 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.